Strategic Communications Director for the Trump re-election campaign, Marc Lotter, speaks out against the left's track record on immigration and anti-Semitism. One America's Chanel Rion recently sat down with Lotter for an exclusive interview and has more from D.C.
Poll after poll has shown that Americans want to resolve our immigration problem. One of the Democratic presidential candidates, Castro, coming out and saying that he is introducing legislation to abolish the word illegal alien from federal law. It
just shows you how extreme and radical the Democrats have become. I mean, whether it is striking illegal immigrants, that's not the answer. The answer is to fix the broken asylum laws, fix the laws that are actually creating the loopholes. The fact that Democrats refuse to address a problem that has created a phenomenon known as child recycling. So children are either abducted or seduced into the cartels, and they are matched with people who come up and pay thousands of dollars to just make the trip across the border with that person they don't know. And as soon as they get across, the child is used as a passport to come into our country. The child is shipped back over to the other side to go meet somebody else. It's a horrifying trend that the Democrats, who claim to be about children, are ignoring. It's just unconscionable.
President Trump tweeted out about how the mainstream media is really a wing of the radical left. What narratives do the mainstream media push right now, do you think, is most ignorant of the facts?
Well, take a look at the way they have responded to this recent series of stories about the squad. I mean, they have pretty much ignored the fact that members of the squad have not only said very anti-Semitic things, they're introducing legislation that is anti-Israel, anti-Semitic. The Democrats don't even condemn it. You have people like AOC and Rashida Tlaib who are asking for compassion for terrorists, and people who equate American foreign policy as the cause of terrorism. And yet they get a free pass, but the media hyperventilates and goes up in arms over a 3-word chant at a rally, which is really meaningless. The president has said that he disagreed with it, but that dominates coverage for days. And meanwhile, these very heinous things that have been said by the now leaders of the Democrat Party are largely ignored.
So in 2016, we had a fairly crowded Republican primary and a very fragmented RNC. Now, as we go into 2020, we have a more unified Republican Party that is getting behind our president. What are some of the lessons that the campaign is taking from 2016 and bringing into 2020?
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we now have a fully functioning operation that is unified behind this president. And it's true anytime on either side of the aisle. When you go through a very divisive primary, primaries are family affairs, and it often ends in hurt feelings. This is a party that has rallied behind this president. This president has record approval, among the highest ever among Republicans around the country. And what you see now is an infrastructure that is really indistinguishable from the other side. From our campaign in the RNC, we are all focused on one thing, which is electing President Trump again in 2020 and making sure that he has supporters in Congress that will help to move our country forward the way the president has talked about.
What are your greatest concerns going into 2020?
Well, anytime you are working on the re-election of a sitting office holder, doesn't matter whether it's the mayor, the governor, or the president of the United States, there are issues outside of your control. We live in a very dangerous world. You never know what's going to happen between now and Election Day next year, but having that unified team, having that team of professionals, not only in the campaign, but also with the Republican National Committee, together, we are doing everything we can to make sure that the president has the best foot forward, has the best chance at re-election. But our job is to control what we can, make sure people who support this president know how they can play a role, how important they are to getting out to the polls. And I'll trust the people inside the White House with keeping everything else in track.
Marc Lotter, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's great to talk to you.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.